Trident Pride is strong as we come together as one for Barbados' 50th anniversary of independence.
50 years of independence, 42 years of sweet, sweet crop over, with every year embracing our richness. CBC TV8, celebrating our culture, showcasing our pride.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lloyd with the Thursday, June 23rd edition of the CBC Evening News. And our top story tonight, Minister of Culture Stephen Lashley is confident that the Royal Barbados Police Force can ensure a crime-free crop-over. He was speaking in response to a widely circulated WhatsApp message allegedly exposing a group's plan for violent retaliation during 4-day mourning celebrations.
I have already allayed the fears of some persons who have called me in relation to certain things that have been floated around the social media. I have every confidence that the Royal Barbados Police Force is on top of its game, and we continue to rely very heavily on them to ensure that crop over is safe, and I have no doubt that it will continue to be safe this year as well. So persons who might be feeling a bit, anxious, there's really no need. We all have to practice safety, but the Royal Barbados Police Force and the security services are very much part of the execution of crop over.
The man arrested during a police operation in the St. Michael district on Sunday is facing firearm and ammunition charges. He is 25-year-old Adigan Rabi Hines of Madison Terrace Deacons Farm. Hines was held as police carried out investigations in that area and surrounding communities. Police say the accused was liming with a group of people and ran when he saw the lawmen. He was held after a brief chase and has been charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and illegal possession of 7 rounds of ammunition. Hines appeared in court today and was remanded to Her Majesty's Prison at Dodds. He is scheduled to return to court on July the 21st. While there has been a call for an enforced system of checks and balances in public procurement procedures. This from Principal Consultant of Grenville Phillips and Associates, Dr. Grenville Phillips. Dr. Phillips says if stakeholders in the region are serious about reform, public procurement cannot simply be left to the discretion of politicians without some regulation.
Politicians need an imposed system of discipline and checks and balances. If the procurement system is to contribute to the effectiveness and efficiency of governance, risk management, and the ideal of value for money.
Dr. Phillips was given the keynote address at the Regional Internal Audit and Public Procurement Roundtable meeting for the Commonwealth Caribbean at the Cave Hill School of Business. He says transparency in procurement activities is important for good governance and risk management and stressed the urgency in having an enhanced regime. Dr. Phillips, however, cautioned that enforcement of internal audit procedures was likely to be challenging.
We've had in this country adverse report after report made by the Auditor General, which no one seems to pay any attention to or take seriously. Ladies and gentlemen, I put it to you that enforcement is likely to be one of your greatest challenges.
The island's senior parliament has weighed in on the issue of corporal punishment in schools, and the majority want to see it removed. During a joint session which included students from the Parkinson Memorial School, this view was reflected in the 11-6 vote on the topic. Among the vocal advocates for its removal are Ronald Waith and Adriana Reese, who both stressed that alternative methods such as lines could be used to discipline students.
All over your skirt 2,000 times. That's what it's good. I'm going to you. One thing, when you don't like that, it will stay in your brain to the day you die. That you fold up your shirt and you were disciplined. But when they beat you next week, tomorrow, how about that you forget?
If you give a child he would choose to remember, he or she would choose to remember or not. I got flogged and I choose to remember why I got flogged. But you can choose whether you don't want to get flogged or not.
However, some members believe that corporal punishment should remain in schools as it is in the country's best interest.
I'm saying that corporal punishment should be maintained in schools in Barbados, because you have to look at how the road we are going down now with the young people. In my day, you could, a student can fly up to a teacher and say you can beat him. You can, that was no.
I'd like to say to you and to this honorable chamber that we keep, as Mr. Jesse Jackson would say, he would say keep hope alive. We keep corporal punishment alive in our schools and in our homes. So that we can make a better society.
Well, it appears there are fewer options for Barbadians to turn to for Category 1 shelters this hurricane season. That's the indication from the Department of Emergency Management, and Shane Seeley tells us more.
Word from the Department of Emergency Management today is that some of the facilities normally deemed Category 1 shelters have received a failing grade. This after the most recent assessment by the agency. Now, the acting director, Kerry Hines, spoke to me on the sidelines of a school's hurricane symposium held at the Queen's Park Steel Shed this morning. Last year, 29 hurricane shelters met the Category 1 status. This time around, there are just 22 Category 1 shelters. 5 of them have wheelchair access.
Based on the assessment, we would have had to take some shelters out from being Category 1s. And Category 1 shelters usually are before, you can go in those before the event. Category 2, once they're still standing and we do another assessment, then we will usher people into those if they require sheltering. But remember, and this is a message that we would have been insisting on over the years, the public shelter should be the last resort.
And that's why the DEM boss says the advice to Barbadians stays the same. Prepare your home as best as you can to be your hurricane shelter. And let the Category 1 shelters be for those most in need.
You retrofit your house, have a safe shelter, have a safe room in your house so that you can shelter at home. It is always best to be in an environment which is friendly. I'm not saying that the public shelters aren't, but I think you would feel better if you use your house as that shelter and you reinforce your property.
Now, in Barbados, shelters are listed in 2 categories. A Category 1 shelter may be used during a hurricane or other hazard event, while a Category 2 shelter may be used if they are still in a reasonable condition after a disaster. Meanwhile, Ms. Hines says today's effort at Queen's Park Steel Shed is about reinforcing the DM's message in the minds of students. They're hoping that the children would relay the message to the parents to be prepared this hurricane season. Shane Seeley, CBC News.
And we'll have more news in just a moment. Stay with us.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153# to sign up to Digicel today.
This is where I learn. Courage is what I got from experience. With hard work, there are no walls between me and my dreams.
Only Milo contains ActiveGo, which is a blend of Protomalt, a unique malt extract, and micronutrients to help prepare your child to get the best out of their day.
Thanks, Mom. Now I am ready.
Milo, energy food drink of champions.
Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Let's make an effort to clean up today. Young and old, we all have a part to play. Cleaning our beaches, recycling too. Noise and air pollution can all be solved by you.
The Environmental Protection Department wants you to join with us to protect our land, air, and water. Don't be the problem, be part of the solution. Join hands with the EPD to keep Barbados clean.
positive, you are negative. HIV free. Are you positive, you are negative? Get tested and see. Are you positive, you are negative? Are you okay? Are you positive, you are negative? Get tested today.
Regional HIV Testing Day is Friday, June 24th, and free testing is available at these locations so you can know your status. In addition, free testing and counseling is available at these locations and times. A full list of testing sites can be found on the iliveup.info website. Regional Testing Day for 9 years, an initiative of the Caribbean Broadcast Media Partnership, supported by PANCAP and Scotiabank.
Are you positive? You are negative. Live up today.
Government Senator Verla de Pisa says the current law on wandering is outdated and needs to go. She shared her views on the matter during a panel discussion hosted on masculinity and child abuse organized by Action for Justice.
It does not in any way face the reality of 1, young girls who are sexually active on purpose, 2, young girls who are trying to find a way to tell the world what is going on in the house that they desperately do not wish to return to. Yes. And we really have to find a way to deal with the actual problems outside of the artificial creations that the legal system has devised.
Senator de Pisa is also telling mothers who invite men into their homes to have sexual relations with their children that is child sexual abuse.
That, I think, is an angle that we cannot ignore when dealing with child sexual abuse, and will perhaps raise the numbers statistically of females who are abusing children, and is a feature of our society that we cannot ignore.
Well, meantime, Senior Child Care Officer with the Child Care Board, Colin St. Hill, believes fathers should take on the role in their children's lives as they ought to. He also believes their presence could help stamp out acts of child abuse.
The abuse might occur when the child has to depend on someone else to provide financial support, to provide housing. Okay? Stepfathers and the mother's boyfriend coming into a relationship, they don't see the female all the time as their own. They see that young person at 14 and so on, at 15 developing, and they don't see that person as part of their blood. And therefore the temptations are likely to be greater. Mm-hmm. And when the mother has to go to work and leave that child at home with the stepfather or the boyfriend and so on, it creates the opportunity.
Mr. St. Hill also sees a role for the community in breaking the cycle of child abuse.
Unfortunately, what happens in these situations, we, the people, take pleasure in pointing out. This one was abused, that's the mother, she do this, and she did there with the man. Whereas without coming to offer concrete assistance, and that is what we need to do more as a community, provide concrete assistance to those persons who find themselves in these vulnerable situations and provide solutions. And that's where we need to go in helping to break the cycle in terms of sexual abuse.
Yeah. And still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across our region.
Kick up your feet, relax, and enjoy some downtime. At Courts, find comfortable and stylish furniture that suits your taste. With living room suites from only $1499.99. It's easier than ever to furnish your home the way you like it. Enjoying your home is made easy. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
When we use our passion to create something special, we cherish the experience that brings the result. It isn't always smooth sailing, but that's the beauty of it. Because through experience and the help of knowledgeable partners, we learn and grow together. and we dream bolder dreams for the future. Confident that your passion and our expertise will bring an ever bright tomorrow. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Thank you all for being here. Rocco was an amazing husband, father, and microorganism. We met on E. coli Harmony 3 flu seasons ago. Our love went viral. His death was quite a shock. Sure, Lysol's been a deadly bacteria killer for decades, but this new Max cover can blanket an entire king-size bed in seconds. Ah, Rocco!
Distributed by Bright & Stokes.
Regional news now. Puerto Rico's largest public hospital is reporting an outbreak of hepatitis A. At least 26 cases have been reported among employees. It appears that the workers all bought food from an unlicensed street vendor. Officials say that no patients so far have been infected. Hepatitis A is a highly contagious